All right, everybody, you guys know what it is. All praise to God. First of all, we're here to inform, motivate, and educate. So this one, I'm going to speak a little bit of experience of life. And this is about stepfather, step families. It's something is very difficult. Just raising a child, raising a family alone is difficult. It's even harder when you have two families or somebody who, let's say, is not the biological father or mother. Me on my end would be the father. When you come in as a step family, it's a real tough thing because there's sometimes friction between the child and yourself, between the mother of the child. A lot of times what happens is, in this I know from experience, like when I would sit here and speak to he's my son now completely, but he used to be my stepson, let's say, but now he's my son. He calls me Pops. That's my son all day long, but I worked real hard to get that relationship. But when we were younger and I would say stuff to him, my wife would get upset at times and think that I'm trying to, pick on him and treat him in a different way. But typically most men treat their sons a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, just because they're boys. And in this world, to be a man is not really that easy. Nobody feels sorry for a guy who's out there. If you see let's put it for instance, you see a 24-year-old guy out homeless, living in the streets, dirty, you're like, that's his choice. You see a 24-year-old girl out there homeless, like, damn, that sucks. So you have a little more compassion for the female, right? But this weekend, it brought great joy to my heart. We went out to watch my grandson playing baseball, right? Little League. And at the Little League was obviously my son, his father, my wife, a couple of my family members, and then his stepdad, dude. His stepdad, who is just a great guy altogether, man. He treats my grandson like his son. And I mean completely. At first, I remember my son would have a certain feeling about it. And you could tell it kind of like, it rubbed him the wrong way, because you have this guy here really doing his thing and stepping up to the plate for my grandson. Not that my son isn't, my son as well, but it was just, I think it was a bit awkward for him. And that happens a lot of times when a man comes into the situation and a father's there, he may think, oh man, he's trying to take my place. But I see them both, they're both standing next to me and they're chopping up, having a good time, being adults, being men. And I just remembered when I was about the stepdad's age and my son was about that age at Little League and all that. I'm like, dude, this is a beautiful thing, dude. This is a beautiful thing that both of them, which are the fathers, are getting along very well, communicating. The mom wasn't there. She was working. So, my grandson was there with his two dads, dude. And they both respect each other. They both communicate. It's nothing but love. However, what people don't see is it's tough, bro. It's very tough, just like raising a family. But the more you work at it, the more you communicate, the payment is so worth it. So I know Father's Day is coming soon, and I just wanted to give a huge shout out there to the stepfathers out there, because they are fathers, bro. They may not have the, all the blood and everything else, but sometimes it's about, raising the kid, being a mentor to the child, and just raising them correctly. So to me, I just wanted to give like I said, a big shout out to all the fathers out there and all the stepfathers out there. You guys definitely need to be recognized. You guys definitely need to be, somehow acknowledged for the hard work that you guys do, because it's not easy. Some people think that, you're just a step. No, man, a father is a father, regardless if it's a stepfather or a father. If you're there in that child's life and you're mentoring that kid to be a better kid and you're being a role model, you are a father. And I just wanted to make this video just to say thank you to all dads out there. Thank you guys. Bye.